Ready for a real brain teaser today? We're diving into something that's fooled mathematicians, game show contestants, you name it.
It's a classic example, isn't it? The Monty Hall problem really shows you how tricky probability can be.
The Monty Hall problem, right? So we're talking game show history, but also some serious psychology going on.
Oh, absolutely. We'll get into all that. But first, I think we should probably explain what the problem actually is, for anyone who hasn't heard of it.
Good point. Imagine yourself as a contestant on this show. Let's make a deal. Our host is the one and only Monty Hall. Big personality.
Right, and he's known for his little games, right?
Yeah.
So picture this. 3 doors. Behind one, a shiny new car.
Sweet ride, I hope.
Oh, the best. But behind the other 2 doors...
Let me guess. Goats.
You got it.
What?
Goats. Not so glamorous. Now you get to pick a door, any door.
Okay, so I'm feeling lucky. I go with door number 1. What happens next?
Here's where Monty's sly side comes out. He opens one of the doors you didn't pick, say door number 3, and what's behind door number 3? A goat, of course.
He's messing with me already, isn't he?
Oh, totally. But there's a method to the madness. See, he knows where the car is. He's always going to reveal a goat.
Okay, so is he trying to help me out? Throw me a bone?
That's what's so clever about it. He then offers you a choice. Stick with your original pick door number 1 or switch to the remaining closed door, door number 2.
So at this point, it feels like a 50-50 shot, right?
That's what most people think. It seems totally logical. 2 doors left, 1 car, equal chances.
Yeah, I'd probably stick with my gut, my original choice.
And that's where the Monty Hall problem gets you. Because it turns out switching doors actually doubles your chances of winning that car.
Wait, hold on. Doubles? How can that be? I thought it was 50-50 at that point.
Our brains really want it to be 50-50, but Monty opening that door with the goat changes everything.
It's like he's giving away secret information without actually giving it away.
Exactly. And that's where we get into this concept of likelihood. One of the papers we're looking at today really digs into this.
Likelihood. So, how likely something is to happen? How does that play into this whole door and goat situation?
Okay, think of it this way. You see someone walking down the street wearing a raincoat. What's the likelihood it's raining?
Pretty high, I'd say. They're not just wearing it for fun.
Exactly. They've got that raincoat on for a reason. In the Monty Hall problem, Monty opening that door with the goat, that's your raincoat. It's a huge piece of information.
So he's basically telling me, without actually saying it, that the car is probably behind the other door.
You got it. He can't outright tell you to switch, but he's giving you a powerful clue. And switching doors means you're taking advantage of that new information.
Okay, so I'm starting to see it, but it still feels kind of backwards, like I'm admitting defeat by switching.
Yeah, it messes with your head, doesn't it? Our brains really latch onto that initial choice.
Right, it's my door. I picked it.
Exactly. But remember, the odds changed the moment Monty opened that other door.
So how do I wrap my head around this? Is there a visual way to think about it?
Actually, there is. One of the papers we looked at, what's so hard about the Monty Hall problem? It talks about using something called probabilistic graphical models.
Probabilistic. Those sound a little intense.
Don't let the name scare you. It's just a fancy way of saying we can make a diagram of the problem.
Okay, so less math, more pictures. I like where this is going.
Exactly. And when you see it laid out visually, the connections become much clearer. You see how your initial choice influences Monty's action, which then influences the final outcome. And suddenly, switching doors makes a lot more sense.
So we're not just talking theory here. There's actual, proof that switching works.
Oh, absolutely. People have run simulations thousands, even millions of times, and the results are consistent. Switching doors significantly increases your chance of winning.
Wow, so this isn't just some mathematical quirk. It actually plays out in reality.
It does. And what's really fascinating is how this concept of hidden information and shifting probabilities, it pops up in all sorts of scenarios. It reminds me of the 3 prisoner problem. You familiar with that one?
Oh, yeah, you mentioned this earlier, the one with, executions.
Yeah.
Bit of a dark turn, but I'm intrigued.
It's a bit grim, yeah, but it illustrates the point perfectly. So imagine 3 prisoners. 2 are scheduled for execution, 1 will be pardoned.
Okay, so far so good.
Now, one of the prisoners asks the guard, hey, can you tell me who's being executed? Give me 1 name. And the guard, following the rules, names one of the other prisoners who's slated for execution.
Right, so the prisoner's hoping for a clue, just like in Monty Hall.
Exactly. And here's where it gets really interesting. The prisoner then says, okay, what if I switch places with the other prisoner who wasn't named? He figures his chances of getting pardoned have just gone up.
Because it's like switching doors.
Right.
The guard revealing a prisoner is like Monty revealing a goat.
You got it. And this is where we hit the paradox.
Oh boy, hit me with it.
See, the second prisoner overhears all this and makes the same request to the guard. And the guard, again following the rules, gives him the same answer. So now, both prisoners think that they're the ones who benefit from switching.
Wait, how can they both be right? That doesn't make sense.
It's a total mind bender, right? Likelihood-based solution to the Monty Hall puzzle, the paper we talked about earlier, it actually connects this prisoner scenario directly back to Monty Hall.
So what's the solution? How can both prisoners think they've got the advantage?
It comes down to perspective and how information is flowing. See, each prisoner only knows their own interaction with the guard. They're missing the bigger picture.
So it's like they're both playing the same game, but with different rule books.
In a way, yeah. And the guard, he's got the full picture. From his perspective, once he's given out that information, it doesn't matter who switches. The odds are what they are.
Wow. Okay, I'm starting to see how this goes way beyond just winning a car or even, well, it's about how we make sense of information, especially when we only have a piece of the puzzle.
Exactly. And the thing is, we do this all the time in real life. We see patterns, we make assumptions, but are we really seeing the whole picture?
It's like we're all playing this giant game of let's make a deal, but the stakes are way higher than just a car or a couple of goats.
Now you're getting it. And sometimes understanding these hidden probabilities, these underlying structures, it's crucial for making good decisions.
We've been talking about these scenarios, game shows, prisoners, but it feels like there's a bigger picture here. Something about how we make decisions when the stakes are high.
Absolutely. And, it all comes back to how our brains are wired. We love a simple explanation, right? We like to think things are straightforward, independent. But the reality is often much more complex.
Right, like with the Monty Hall problem. We see two doors, we assume 50-50, but there's this whole layer of hidden information that we forget about.
Exactly, and it trips us up because in real life, those hidden structures, those unseen connections, they're everywhere.
It's like we're walking around with blinders on sometimes.
That's a great way to put it. And because of that, we end up making decisions based on incomplete information.
So what can we do about it? How do we take off the blinders, become more aware of those hidden structures?
Well, for starters, I think recognizing that we have these blind spots, that's huge. Just knowing that our brains tend to simplify things, that's a good first step.
So don't trust your gut feeling all the time.
It's more like don't assume your gut feeling is based on the whole picture. Question your assumptions. Ask yourself, what information am I missing?
Okay, so be a little more skeptical of ourselves and how we interpret the world.
Exactly. And don't be afraid to seek out different perspectives. Talk to people who see things differently than you do. Read things that challenge your views.
It's a little uncomfortable, you're saying.
It can be uncomfortable, yeah. But that discomfort often means you're learning something new, expanding your understanding.
So the Monty Hall problem, it's not just about winning a car. It's like a lesson in critical thinking, almost.
I love that. It's a reminder that the world is full of surprises. And if we want to make good decisions, we need to be aware of our biases, question our assumptions, and embrace a little bit of uncertainty.
Embrace uncertainty. Not exactly what our brains are hardwired to do, but it sounds like good advice.
It might take some practice, but trust me, it's worth it.
Wow.
Because when you start thinking this way, you start seeing the world in a whole new light.
And who knows, you might even win a car along the way. Well, metaphorically speaking, at least. That's all the time we have for today's deep dive. A big thanks to our expert for, well, being the expert. And to you, our listeners. Thanks for joining us on this journey into the fascinating world of probability, hidden structures, and the power of questioning everything. Until next time, keep those minds curious.